Welcome back to What's the Buzz in Western New York. I'm Kim Piazza. With all the changes, paperwork, and filing deadlines, do you have questions about Medicare and Medicaid? There's a place you can go to find out everything you need to know. Summit Healthcare Solutions. Western New York, we're going to learn about a business that is very unique, Summit Healthcare Solutions, and how they can help you and your loved ones with Medicaid. Let me introduce you to Darlene McClay. She is the president of Summit Healthcare Solutions. Thank you for having us today.
Well, it's a pleasure being here. Thank you.
So Summit Healthcare Solutions does something that's really very unique. Let's start with the broad overview. What do you do for people?
We actually represent people for nursing home Medicaid. So when they end up running out of funds and they need to transition over to Medicaid and they live in a nursing home, we can represent for them.
So Summit Healthcare Solutions knows how to navigate some kind of treacherous waters.
Yes, we do. We've been doing this for about 15 years. Applying for nursing home Medicaid can be a very difficult, time-consuming process. In order to be eligible for Medicaid, you actually have to provide 60 months of documentation for the applicant. So that includes bank statements, IRAs, annuities, all retirement funds, tax returns, you have to do income, you have to do pensions. So the files can be quite large, and gathering and collecting that documentation is very time-consuming.
So a paper trail of 5 years, 60 months is 5 years. So
Yes.
you have an individual who is typically not doing very well if they're having to go into a nursing home.
Right.
And then it falls to the family to track back 5 years of everything.
Yes, and that's what we see over the years. We see families all the time struggling to do this kind of work while they're trying to visit their loved one in the nursing home. We have clients every day that say to us, I wish I knew about Summit Healthcare when I did my uncle's application last year. I wish I knew that you guys existed. So we always say we're the best kept secret in Buffalo. We are now trying to reach out to let people know that the process is very difficult, very time consuming. And when your loved one goes in a nursing home, they don't usually have a lot of time to spend with them. And so we would rather have them spend the time there and let us do all the collection of the paperwork. Let us collect the IRS information. Let us deal with the county. We'll take care of everything. That's the way we work.
I think a lot of times when we get to this point in family life, we think, well, we better call a lawyer. I think that's probably one of the first thing that people assume. But you actually don't have to take the more traditional legal route to address the needs of someone who's trying to get Medicaid for nursing home care. Instead, Summit Healthcare can handle all of that documentation.
Yes, we can handle all of the collection of the documentation, all of the presenting the documentation and the case to the Medicaid examiner. We advocate on their behalf. We make sure that the eligibility is correct, that the Medicaid date of opening fits the need from the nursing home. We go through all of that. So we do nothing but Medicaid. And as you said, many people think their only alternative is a traditional legal route or a lawyer, when in fact we have a lot more experience, and that's all we do. We've been doing this for about 15 years. We service all of upstate New York. We do over 1,000 cases a year. So that in itself speaks to some of our experience. The other thing that's a little bit unique when you work with Summit is you're assigned one case manager. And after your initial meeting or your initial conversation, that case manager will do all the work for you. You don't have to do anything. We don't want you to have to go to the bank or call the pension companies. You let us take care of that. And that's what's different about anybody else who offers this type of service.
That's really great, having the one case manager. So if you're the family member calling for help, you don't have to tell your story over and over and over again. The same person is assigned to you to make sure that you get what you need for your loved one.
Yes, and the reason that that's important is that many families that we work with, they don't know the 5-year history of their parents. I mean, I know I wouldn't know my parents. And so we're trying to work with them, trying to piece together the 5 years so that the story is accurate, the eligibility is determined right, and to have a family have to talk to multiple different people in an office only makes a difficult process even more difficult.
Even more convoluted.
It makes it much more complicated.
Earlier we were talking a little bit about what you do, and I thought that it was just really great when you were describing to me how important it is that these documents are hand delivered.
Well, one of the things that happens is that you have to be real careful that all of the documentation is accounted for. And as you can well imagine, the Medicaid offices are overwhelmed. There's enormous amounts of paperwork, and we don't want our documents for our clients to just be mailed down there. We don't want them to be left in the mailroom. So we hand deliver all of our documents to the Medicaid office on a weekly basis, and we make sure we get it verified as a receipt. We make sure it gets on the right person's hands. We make sure that it's all taken care of. So we really walk the whole case through the process from beginning to end, because we want our clients to get the proper coverage they're entitled to.
So you have a family member going into a nursing home, you come to Summit Healthcare Solutions, and no longer do you have to focus so much on the stress, the tension, the legalities of what goes on to make sure that Medicaid eligibility requirements are met, because Summit Healthcare Solutions is going to see that it's all done for you.
That's what we do.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Darlene.
Thank you for having me.
This is a great service for Western New York. Give the team at Summit Healthcare Solutions a call at 716-332-6487. That's 716-332-6487. Their offices are located at 1325 Millersport Highway, number 100 in Amherst, New York. Information is online at MedicaidBySummit.com. That's it for this edition of What's the Buzz in Western New York. I'm Kim Piazza. Be sure to follow us on social media, like WBBZ-TV on Facebook, and join the conversation at WBBZ on Twitter. Remember, WBBZ-TV is your hometown Me TV station.